NASA engineer discovers time machines, as well as nearing a worldwide apocalypse. Then, as YouTube would have us put it, unalives yourself. Welcome to Soul Spy University, where your souls can run free and your minds are free to expand. Today's show is sure to blow your mind and open your world right up. But first, while we're together in this timeline and before the world ends, it would help if me and my content to you out tremendously if you could please just click that like button, subscribe to be a part of our family so you don't miss out on the news that they're not telling you, but we are, and share to help our channel survive. Just a reminder, there is a donation link in the description box. Any little bit helps to know that someone somewhere is listening. Also, if anyone is called to the list of services I'm currently still providing in my description box, please be sure to Instagram message me, as I recently had to delete 40,000 emails to make room. So Instagram messaging is the best way to go, because you just never know in that world where you have to delete metaphysical emails to get metaphysical room. I don't know. I don't know that world anymore. Okay, so this is crazy and serious. Tommy, our investigative reporter, is on the scene.
Hey guys, how you doing?
Wow, Tommy, what a story you came with us today. Wow, just mind-blowing. Thank you.
So yeah, this is the story of a lady named, she was a NASA engineer. Her name was Amy Eskridge. Amy Eskridge started the Institute of Exotic Sciences. So she basically she worked for NASA. She did like little podcasts here, not podcasts, but like Zoom, like we're doing, but like kind of like podcasts too, I guess. And her whole thing was she was trying to wait for disclosure to come out because they wanted to get out all this information on all the her thing was anti-gravity. And she constantly tried to get it like little by little out. And let's see. She worked in Huntsville, Alabama. And during the podcast, this is what people think is this podcast, this episode she showed was probably the reason that what people think is unalived herself, basically. Because she was getting drunk during the thing and saying a lot of names and a lot of companies. I won't say that here because I don't want to be like, you come home one day, it's like, oh no, Tommy obviously did this to himself. He removed his own skin. So yeah, she started drinking during this thing, and her whole thing is she wanted to get out the information that we have anti-gravity technology, and we just don't have like a little bit of anti-gravity technology. It's been around for a while. One of her claims is that if the money went to this instead of like other things, we could be we could be at Pluto right now.
Wow. Wow.
Um, she explains that Huntsville, Alabama is basically like the absolute when it comes to all this technology. Uh, People think that it's not a big deal like it's Alabama, so nobody thinks about it. But she claims that if there were a attack, that they are third on the list of targets. Like it's the White House, it's this, it's that, and then like they attack the most dangerous targets first. They are third.
That's so interesting. Because remember, I told you about that psychic reading this year that, like, if anything's happening, it's going to be in like one of those sleepy mid states.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's right.
Mm.
So she says that she started the Institute for Exotic Sciences specifically to like help with disclosure.
Mm.
And she was talking about like how she can't wait to get this out. And the whole point of it was that she wanted to become more public as a figure, so that when she started disclosing stuff, you know, people will actually look into when she disappeared, because she claimed that she was threatened constantly. And the guys that she was on the podcast with, one of them at least worked also with her, and he was a scientist as well. The other one, I really don't know, because I don't know where the original podcast of it was. Somebody found a bunch of it and put it together on the internet. So a lot of it's like she's talking and then she stops talking for a while and there's quiet, but she's obviously listening to something or someone or reading something, but they don't explain what it is, what they're saying, anything like that.
Why?
I don't know if it's because they couldn't get the original complete thing, or I don't understand it exactly.
Or maybe he didn't want to get unalived?
He's not the one that put it out. Some random person put it. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's 3 hours long. You could find it on YouTube. Um, it's but she's getting drunk the whole time. That's the problem. And she's explaining. She's like, it's unbelievable. The technology we have is crazy. But then the problem is this: they give us, because somebody apparently had asked, no, why don't we have these things? He goes, because this is what it go. This is how it goes. These. She talks about the secret government, and she tells the three companies that are
Gmail.
basically, yes, whatever. She explains that these three companies are the basis of this, and uh, I won't say them, but one of them, let's just say, very easy to find. You know who they are. They love planes and things that go into the sky. So uh, she explains that what they do there to the scientists is that they give them a problem. They give them like this thing to create or whatever, and then once they've created it, they cancel it, and then they send it to like a deep underground thing, and then they get so that scientists won't like, you know, be like, what the hell, blah blah blah. They give them another problem, like immediately. They're like, oh, but we need this, and then they keep doing that over and over and over, and all these science, all these technologies that they create are taken and either turned into scrap, and the information is then saved somewhere else. Or actually, no, that's exactly what she said. I'm so sorry, everybody. That's exactly what she said. That these things are taken and scrapped. The physical thing is scrapped, but the information is taken elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. The demo is gone, but there's no way all that work isn't saved and they're not like reproducing them elsewhere.
Yeah. Um, then she starts talking about how she's constantly, because that's the one problem with this thing. Because she's been drinking, she kind of rambles a little bit and talks like goes into different like paths.
Oh God, I'm so worried for us.
So
Is
she
this
talks
us
about how
back then?
she talks about how she's constantly being threatened, and like in a most annoying way. She goes, I would come home and literally, like, to show that somebody was in there, they would cut like the wires of everything. They would just cut the wires, cut it in half.
I don't
Or
think this
her,
to show
her
someone's in there. I think they're like, let's not have her have access to the outside world.
no, 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 it'd be stupid things she says, like my coffee maker or this and that. She goes, they would just cut the wires in half. just to show it's like a subtle threat. Like, look, we can get to you anytime,
Yeah.
we want.
Yeah.
And she says, like, she knows a lot of scientists that all like they that have come up with anti-gravity machines. And she explains that these like they come up with these machines and they work perfectly.
Wow.
And but they're taken, canceled, scrapped,
Quote unquote.
yes, every time. And but
Mhm.
they are all threatened. Every last one of them is always let know that at any moment, them or their families, like just keep quiet, just keep quiet.
Wow. Wow. Yeah. And I mean, the coffee maker matters because some people are really relying on that. But I mean, if
You know
she's
what?
talking about lamps, it just sounds like everything that we're plugging in is kind of reliant. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like they do it like not just that. She goes that they like she comes home and literally they rummage through all her like underwear drawers and left that specifically one open. And she's like, why? And it's like she claims that it's because they just want her to know,
Well,
no matter what she does.
they should make a little you know how like cruises will make like swans out of like the napkins on the bed or whatever. They should make
That'd be
little
funny.
swans out of her underwear.
But
Underwear swan.
that'd be funny. Imagine they actually did that.
Like they
Uh,
should be doing things that are like a little nicer and more creative.
so well, they're not that. The end result was that they weren't nice. So
Oh,
she actually, so Amy was homeschooled her whole life,
okay.
and her father also worked for NASA. He was also a scientist for NASA.
Mm,
And where she brought it up was weird is that she has this guy on her team that she goes is a plant. He was planted. He says that he invented the hydrogen bomb. He helped create the hydrogen bomb, and he was friends with this guy who unalived himself too, who basically was talking like telling people about I can't remember the name. I'm sorry guys, but he um this guy that she says was a plant claimed they were best friends. And she goes, "Oh, you were best friends with him? So what's your thoughts on aliens?" And he
mhm.
goes, "I have no thoughts on aliens." And she's like, "But you were best friends with this guy and that was his thing. That was his thing."
Yeah, yeah. Oh God,
So
it's like both of us from the past got unalive.
yeah. So uh she rambles about that. And then finally she tells about this thing called which was the beginning of the episode, which you're all probably the oh the ultra test I'm probably gonna say this wrong. Oh, the ultra terrestrials. Terrestrials? There you go. Terrestrials. Terrestrials.
Extraterrestrials? Are you talking about extraterrestrials? Oh,
No. Ultra terrestrials.
okay. Ultra terrestrials?
Yes.
Okay.
They are called the P-52s and the P-47s.
What are
Now,
these? What's an ultra terrestrial?
the ultra terrestrials are us from the future.
Oh.
And the P-42s, she explains, it's present day times 42,000 years. Same thing with the P-52s. Present day, oh, I'm sorry, 47s. Present day,
Mhm.
47,000 years, and then 52, present day, 52,000 years. They explained, here's the problem with this. She doesn't, because somebody says something immediately, she stops talking about it after this other part. Uh, she explains that they said that like they have come from the future and in the upcoming future in the not too far not too distant future there's some kind of apocalypse going on this earth
Hmm.
and that a good portion of the population will go underground and live underground and then there's the few that somehow survive on the ground. After she says this, she starts reading something on the screen, and then she changes the subject completely.
What is she reading?
I don't know. It's her own personal laptop.
How do you know she's reading? Is there video?
But she goes, she's a video. It's a natural thing. She's going like this because she's doing the Zoom from her podcast, from her laptop, and then she looks down. She's looking at it. You can see her eyes moving, and then she's like, oh yeah, whatever we want. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's just let's talk about whatever. Like she changed the subject.
Oh my God, whoever's interviewing her, who wouldn't want to know about this?
It's not because the guys that are she's talking to are guys she works with. They are also in danger. And I don't
Oh,
know.
so they're writing to her like we're gonna get killed if you keep
I
talking.
don't know. That's the problem. People think that maybe that's exactly what's happened there.
Mhm.
So she quieted down very quickly about that. I wish she kept going. It was like, what? When? Where? What? And she just stopped.
Wow.
That was yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so you don't know, is it could it be that she got distracted? Is that one of the possibilities? Like
it's possible, but the way it
wow.
looked like she was quickly told, stop, real quick, stop.
Oh, okay, because she just went into like, yeah, we could talk about something else kind of thing.
Yeah.
Wow. That's riveting. That is riveting. These us from the future. I wonder, huh? Okay. I wish we knew more about that. I wish, like, are they aliens? They look like us. How are they
If
talking
you
to us? You know?
Oh, they look like us. Yes, she says they look exactly like us. They're us.
Really?
That's the first thing she says. She goes, "They're us from the future, exactly us.
How,
They're humans.
huh?
They're humans. They're just people.
Okay, that's interesting. 40 plus 40,000 years. Wow.
47 and 52,000 years.
52,000? That's
Yes,
crazy because we only live so far, like 2,000 years. So that's crazy that they look exactly like us.
yeah, which is that she didn't. That's the problem. She says no. She says they're us from the future.
Oh,
They're us. If you watch, like you guys can look up her name on YouTube, and the video will pop up. You could see that she's been drinking and she's visibly drinking on camera, like 3 different drinks.
is she me?
And she even says this. She goes, "Oh, we can keep going. All right, good. I get drunker."
It sounds like me.
And
I always run
like
3 deep. I have 3 drinks in front of me right now.
so, yeah. So she starts talking, but the problem is she started naming names like dead on, and she's like, "That person's a plant." And like there's other things like that's one problem. People are typing stuff, and she's reading it, and she goes, with the vision. I don't know if she's talking to other scientists. I'm assuming she is, but um, she's like, oh no, that person works for this company specifically and is a plant for that. So they're CIA. She goes, I work with people. They're just put into my groups without my permission, and we all know it's like they're here to watch, collect data, send it back to their company so that they can come in and take over the project. She goes, it's so infuriating because it happens all the time and there's nothing we can do about it.
Yeah. And it's never, was it ever like admitted to her that this is the case, or they just kind of know?
They just kind of know.
Hmm.
They can never. It's never really like except for the threats that she keeps getting. She's like these people. Some of these people are just so obvious, but they don't care. They won't. They won't come out and be like, yeah, I work for this, but they know. They're like when you work enough for long enough, you can just spot them because they'll ask questions that are just like, what? Like, why? That's not your field. That's not for you to know. Or how would you even know about that?
Hmm. Yeah. Okay, wait. So, okay, so she discovered people from the future. Did she say that she saw them in person?
She stopped talking.
So all she did, like, tell me everything she said about them.
She specifically said this. Hey, have you ever heard of this? Then she
Mhm.
said the P-47s, P-52s.
Uh-huh.
Then she goes, they are us. They are us from the future. Uh, P stands for present day times this.
Wow.
P, present day times that. Then she explains the calamity that happens.
What?
And then that's specifically it. And then she starts reading the screen. And then she's like, oh, blah, 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 rockets.
Wait, so she explains a calamity that happens.
And that
Oh,
people
because
live
some
underground.
people live underground, you said?
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
There's actually a minute video if you want to, uh, on YouTube that you could type it in real quick. It's like a minute of that. Um,
mhm.
but yeah, it's crazy, man. She starts naming names like crazy, and she explains that her whole basis for this thing is so that she doesn't meet an untimely end because she wants to be more public. She needs to be more public. Otherwise, people that are private and try to say something, they just go. They just go. And she says, I have I have known a lot of people that just they unalive themselves because they accidentally send an email or purposely send an email to somebody, or they had a conversation with someone on the phone about something that they're doing, and all of a sudden, so
So what did she
she
think was going to happen to her? I mean, she wasn't really that public.
she thought she was public enough. She was waiting for disclosure. Uh, it was thought that she was in contact with David Grush, and he even said that because she had died in June of 2022. This is after David Grush. This is actually I'm sorry, right before David Grush came out,
Hmm.
and he claims that a couple of his colleagues that were going to come out with them, um, you know, they
Wow.
got murdered.
He said that they got unalived.
They were, yes, they were. Um, you know, I don't know how he put it, but they were they were canceled basically.
Oh my God. So what was it that she was disclosing that she got canceled for? You got the future people, and that's all she said about them is, have you heard of these labels? They're us from the future. Then she got interrupted, right?
It was the names. She was not just the names. She was pointing out that Huntsville, Alabama,
Hmm.
is the freaking hub of. Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to put that in. I forgot to say that. Yeah, uh, the government's aerospace and national defense technologies that we don't know about. All these insane things that we don't know about. She was talking about how they created there
Hmm.
and how all these rockets and all these different things they created there. But then that wasn't like I said, that wasn't the worst. That was bad. That was bad when it comes to. But she was just saying specific names and not just first names. She was saying full names of people.
Um, okay. And did she find a time machine?
That's the problem. It's an assumption because if she
Hmm.
met the people, she would have obviously have seen a time machine. But she stopped talking about it. It's like, why would you talk about everything else? But she wasn't that drunk yet. The thing went on. This was like the beginning of the podcast. This thing went on for 3 hours and change afterwards. And she was freaking like, blam, blam, the rose, beers.
Um, okay. So I'm trying to think. Okay, so tell me what she told. everybody? Like, what else is there? Okay, and she
Like
got
I said,
unalived. Okay, in 2022, June 2022, right? How old was
yeah,
she? You know?
she was like 30 something, 33, I think, 34.
No, really?
Yeah.
Really? So young, they killed that? That's horrible. Can't believe it.
Well, her death was unknown circumstances.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, isn't her family or friends?
Her father also worked for NASA, so
So
what are they
he,
gonna do?
so he can't say anything.
They can't say anything. What are they gonna say? How are they gonna say it? How would they prove it?
Who knows how they're doing or where they are?
Yeah, it's sad, man. But like I don't like that was the bad thing because I was like, oh God, when I was watching it. And I was like, she is just throwing names out there. And she's like, they work for this specific company. This specific company are the ones like that are taking half our technology. Our her whole thing is like anti-gravity is um is like one of anti-gravity is one of the elements. She goes, do you know that there's not just four elements? There's eight. And she goes, this is what we work with. And all these people like they just they leave the public ignorant so that they can prosper.
Can you send this to me too, by the way?
Yeah, well, I can't send it through this
I
because
know, but like, what's her name?
yeah. Amy Eskridge, Eskridge.
I got it. Oh, oh my God. She was born in 1987. That means she's like, would have been 36 today. Um, no. Oh my God.
Wait,
Am I 37 or 38?
37.
I don't know. I don't,
Wait,
I
I
don't,
don't know. I think you're 37.
I don't know. Okay, guys, this is what there's a lot of different looking pictures of her. A
She's
lot of different looking pictures.
yeah.
A lot of different looking pictures of her.
She is a skinny brunette. I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I
these
can't.
are all her, but they all look like different ages.
Oh,
Oh my God. All right, let's get back to the meat and potato roast. All right, so, oh my God. How long was she working for NASA?
she says that she was basically working for like as soon as she graduated. But like the thing is this, she says that she thought it was odd because she was homeschooled and she was homeschooled with like a community homeschooling thing
Mhm.
in Alabama. The guy that she was claiming was a plant had apparently been her neighbor throughout her whole entire life, and she didn't know that. And he was also homeschooled in a weird homeschool like community. So it's a thought that she was like it was a project to basically grow scientists, not grow like you know what I mean. Basically, like it's like why go out looking for them when you just keep them here and have their parents that already work for us teach them to come work for us after that.
I'm surprised her dad didn't advise her to not say anything.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. I'm sure he probably did, but she's not going to throw him under the bus.
Well, that wouldn't be throwing him under. Okay, wait.
Well, if he had knowledge, if she's claiming he had some form of knowledge, then that is. If she keeps him ignorant and out of her mouth,
There's a lot of theories that the presidents all went to some sort of like they were picked from something like what you're saying, like from when they were little.
oh yeah, that's the Manchurian Candidate. It was a book.
Oh, really? All right. Tell me about more of that later. Theories I heard were more alienic.
Oh, well, there's always like theories like that because if you look, a lot of these former presidents are like, you look at their lineage, look at their like, it's like a lot of them kind of too many similarities, too many similarities.
Yeah, no, there was somebody that was an alien whistleblower, and I think he got unalived as well, but he tried to explain that they were taken up on spaceships all the time, and that like George Bush was in his class, Obama was in his class, and they were like kids, and they were like taken up in these ships all the time. Like he had very detailed things. I'm trying to remember his name,
Hmm,
but
I
it
don't
was like
know.
a classroom kind of atmosphere, but they as a group were like taken, and then one would be playing doing one thing, one would be doing the other, and then taken into a room. And it's like, I don't know, weird shit like that. But my thing is, I'm confused what the parents are told about this, or what worries me even more is like what they possibly do to the parents' brains to let them agree to such a thing. You know what I mean? Like, um, it's just very worrisome, especially with the surveillance that we're aware of right now. I could literally think of something and it's on my phone, you know? Uh,
Yeah, it's probably a weird indoctrination type situation where they're like, it's for the good of the country or it's for the good of this.
yeah, that makes sense. That makes it make sense. Yeah, for sure. But yeah, oh my God, it's scary out there. We are in danger, guys. You better subscribe and share so that we can survive. But and also like, but oh my God, like this is terrifying. So okay, so is that all she said, Ty?
Yeah, unfortunately, I couldn't get it all down. I wish I did,
Mm-hmm.
but it's very fascinating. Everybody, it's on YouTube. But yeah, the claim is that they think that she was because she like she said she was constantly being threatened.
Wow.
Uh, so they weren't subtle about it sometimes, like she said, and she wanted just to get out the facts, the anti-gravity, like all a lot of these like that's one thing she was like, all these spaceships you see here, like they're ours. It's like we built them.
Like that's like that documentary we saw.
Yeah,
What that was Dr. Stephen Greer's documentary.
yeah, yes.
Um the un no no that was his previous one that we watched.
Something about the history, the secret history of America, something like that. Secret history. I forgot what it was. It
Yeah,
was
guys, check it out. We covered it last year. It would be under the aliens playlist. It was narrated by Fred Durst. Oh, The Lost Century and How to Reclaim It.
oh yes,
Yeah, and it talks all about this exact stuff, which makes me wonder how he's alive. Maybe because he has so much publicity.
yeah. That was like I said, that's what she was trying to aim for.
Yeah, and even Joe Rogan talks about Bob Lazar all the time. Poor Bob Lazar.
Poor
He
Bob.
he was really threatened. He didn't want the publicity, and he had it. And I don't know. He just said, "Yeah, whatever you want to do, I'm out."
And they're constantly just going into his shop and be like, "Hey, buddy, hey, you got that M13 or whatever it was called, M something? What the hell is that thing he had? What was it? What was it called? M something. I forgot what it was. But he's like, they're constantly out like, I don't have it, and they're
They're like,
just destroying. Yeah, they're just destroying things. Oh man.
"Oh my God, I hope he's all right." But yeah, it makes you wonder how many of these stories are true because obviously there's something if they just keep getting alived. R.I.P. Phil Schneider. We covered him. Look under the alien playlist. And he said a lot. I don't know. Okay, so what this calamity she mentioned happened? Did she mention the year?
Nope, nothing.
Does she say that most of the world is wiped out?
She says there's a apocalypse, world apocalypse.
Oh, and she doesn't say what year,
Nope.
but she said it's nearby.
Yeah, the
Um,
near future. She said the near future.
and do you know what year she said that?
This was in 2022. This is like not long after, not long before.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
And what he's talking about is not long before the unalivement. Um, wow, wow, near future, near future. And the most of the world, well, I don't think it's this year. I heard some psychic stuff, so it's not this year. Next year's better, so it's not that. I'm for some reason 2027 is coming to mind, which is interesting because there's still people believing that guy from 2027. The one that we have like 80,000 views because we're debunking him, and then people freaked out. So then I put another video out debunking him. Javier
Oh, yeah, Javier.
from
Yeah.
2027, he's still putting content out. Um, he
I don't understand how.
camera stuff, but like, I don't know. I'm starting to wonder. But I mean, the way that could be possible if it was is if it just happened. Like people are like, all this running water and electricity. Like, how is that? Like, they're basically trying to say this can't be happening because how is this all running? But if it just happened, if although if it just happened, how did he survive, not everybody else?
We already debunked it, so it didn't just happen. The guy lied.
No, meaning it just happened when he was in the future because she's saying this something happens in the near future.
Yeah, but that's the thing. His whole theory was he didn't know what the hell it was. People were guessing at it. It could be the future, or it could be like, remember, they said it was like it might be a like a created, saved world almost.
No, I never heard that theory.
Yeah, I could have swore we did that. Yeah, it was like it's a world. We read something or watched something. I forget what it was, but the theory is that like there are worlds that are created already, but they're not populated, and it's almost like part of the um uh, why am I blanking on what this is called? Oh, the simulation theory, that these things are created and are unpopulated until they're ready to populate them. And maybe the theory was that he glitched into one of these things, and there it was just it's a big space that is copied from what he was from, but from the future or whatever the heck. But it was unpopulated because they didn't add in the people.
Oh my God, that's crazy. No, that's amazing. I never heard that.
Yeah. But then we come out, turns out,
Yeah, we debunked it, but it's still interesting to explore these theories because you never know. Okay. So I'm just trying to nail what she said. So she's saying nearby worldwide thing. It's interesting to try to string this together with the other things we've covered,
yeah.
that time traveler documentary of a time traveler documentary. He did mention something that happens, but I thought it was further in the future.
I mean, if you like, I keep saying this, and you keep saying everything's gonna be fine, psychics, and I'm like, read the news. Things are getting bad, bad, really bad.
Yeah, but if you really think about it, that news is controlled by the
The
things he's
18
talking about.
do you know the other day where AT&T got hacked and everybody lost, well, not everybody, I think it was like 70,000 people lost service and all that stuff. These things are small probes. And there's another balloon that the government's tracking now.
Well, the first five, six, eight balloons were nice.
Yeah,
They
but we
didn't.
don't know where this is from. All these little things are probes. All these little things build, 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 because right now people can't mind, like, everybody's got to get into everybody else's stuff, and everybody's getting mad. So it's getting bad. It's getting bad.
It could just be that they want information to try to get money, which is not nice, but it's not what you're thinking, you know?
That happens all the time. That it literally happens all the time. Um,
What?
that there are groups of cyber attackers who do that. They attack big companies. They collect a bunch of their information, and they ransom it back to them. It's part of business now, where they're like, you pay us this, you get this back, and then that's exactly what happens.
But maybe they're doing it with a balloon on a more statewide scale and stuff.
I don't think so. They would just use the computers. They wouldn't need a balloon. So
Mm, mm. Okay, so your theory. Okay, what's your theory then?
I think that just things heat up, and someone presses the wrong button, and then because that one button is pressed, it sets off a chain of events.
If it's all accidental the way you're saying, why would the billionaires know?
It's not accidental. It's because they're not stupid. They need to. They're reading what things that we don't even know. They're getting information that we don't even know. So they're seeing things are escalating, and it's just better to be safe.
Okay. And guys, if you know, just so you know what we're dealing with, it's the underground bunker video. Check it out. We just released it. Okay. So, and don't worry, I'll calm everyone down at the end. All right. So what's the realness of what are you taking away from what she's saying and everything?
It's super fascinating. I
Hmm.
really like. I was trying to find to see if maybe her thing was on YouTube or anything. I could find it somewhere, but I couldn't find anything.
Hmm.
Uh, so I don't know if it was taken down. I'm assuming it was, but like if you type in her name in YouTube, you get like 2 or 3 videos, and then like just random ass like Amy Winehouse. It's like I didn't type in Amy Winehouse. It's like other stuff. So
That's weird. That's weird.
it's interesting, man. It's interesting. I mean, you definitely see that she didn't just do her issue or whatever. Like they stepped in because she said way too much, way too much.
Well, it's interesting because Amy Winehouse also was on the live.
No, she didn't she drink herself to death?
Well, that's just an easy way to say, I mean, just because of her last name and her songs.
Well, yeah, that was her issue. She was literally an
Yeah, but
alcoholic.
think about it. Think about it. If you were the G-Man and you had to, you know, what would you
She
say?
made one song. She made one song. She was a non-important figure.
Yeah,
And
so
then
that's
after
what
her,
happened.
she was a good singer though, but she just had issues.
I know,
I
but
don't
you're
know if
you're not thinking outside the box. Do you know what I'm saying? Like
but
she, so,
there's no reason for that. Like it's like, oh man, that rehab song really, uh, we got to get rid of her. It's
okay,
like
but
what the,
because you know what celebrities some of them have to do.
but it doesn't mean. But she was barely out. She was out for what?
Yeah, even more of a reason.
I don't know. I don't know about that one.
I don't know.
Um,
Because why is her name popping up when you're searching the other one? That's interesting, I find.
yeah, but
Hmm.
they had. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. I could not tell you.
Oh, no, I know you can't. This is for mind exploration.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
But like I said, the thing is called. Dang it, hold on 1 second. Institute for Exotic Science, and apparently she just wanted to disclose her main thing was anti-gravity machines. She
Hmm.
said that they constantly build them, they work perfectly, and then they were taken. and destroyed.
Anti-gravity machines. And what they would be used to travel through space? Do you think they're also time travel machines?
I don't know. I don't know. But she's basically explaining that anti-gravity is an element. And
Hmm.
if anti-gravity, like that documentary we saw, if they start with the anti-gravity, the oil industry is done, completely done. And that's just too much money. It's
Hmm.
way too much money and too much power.
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
mean, the Saudi Arabia is like if we got anti-gravity, Saudi Arabia is like their whole entire thing is based on their oil.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of incentive to keep this quiet.
Okay. Okay. So mostly because of that. Meanwhile, we're all interested in the time machine.
Of course, yeah, that's it. I've everybody, even if you read the comments on the video, they're like, "What the hell? Keep talking about the freaking future, get people. Talk about the time machine. Why? Why did she stop?"
This was on a YouTube video?
This is a yeah. Somebody somehow got their Zoom video
Hmm.
and redid it for his YouTube.
Okay. So yeah, make sure to send me that. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, are you anything more on this?
No, that's unfortunately it.
Okay, well, guys, just so you know, check out our documentary of a time traveler video. It's a documentary on a time traveler who, I know that sounds crazy, but when you hear the evidence of how he had something in his hand and then there was a body found without the hand that the thing was in, I mean, it is insane. He happens to mention that there is something that happens. There is something that happens and people do survive underground. So that is interesting. Perhaps that psychic was right in that we do survive
Also,
underground.
also that we have the video on the documentary of that the one we just brought up.
Oh, yes.
Why?
Yes, Dr. Stephen Greer's documentary, Lost Entry and How to Reclaim It. We have that video out as well. So the time traveler one is probably I think we have a time traveler list, I think. If not, it'll be in the alternate realities list. And then the Dr. Stephen Greer will be under the alien playlist. So you can see the summaries of those videos, documentaries. And then we have a lot of other time travel stuff, by the way. Um, yeah, and you guys got to stay tuned because we're going to come out with something on the newest of giants and many more things to come, which are so in order to help us survive, make sure you click that like button, subscribe to be a part of our family to hear the news that they're not telling you, and please make sure we're alive next week to tell you, and share to make sure we stay alive because then maybe we'll be more public to stay alive. Otherwise, please remember us. If I had any expert in tech or music copywriting, I would be ending this with the "I Will Remember You" song in case we don't see you ever again. Also, if you want to spread good karma to our souls, um, there's a donation link in the description box. It's just good to know that someone somewhere out there has heard us. And yeah, list the description box. I offer services in the description box. Um, if I'm alive, I can do those services. So make sure to check those out. Anyway, we love you guys so much. Anything more to add on this, Tommy?
No, it's just super interesting. If you guys want to look this girl up, please do. Uh, her name is Amy Eskridge. I think I said that right. Yes, Eskridge. Uh, she had a lot to say. It's sad.
Yeah, definitely leave in the comments what you think. And honestly, I really want to tell you guys that we're going to follow up in the story, although I'm scared to. We're going to, but I can't say that out loud because I don't know.
Well, it's already out there. We're just parroting, so it's not like we know information. We don't. We're not government officials. So we don't get new information that people don't already have out there.
I do
So
research. I get that information. But we can't say that.
well, I don't.
Yeah, we don't. All right. Hope to see you next time, guys. And great job, Tommy.
Bye, guys.